Hello, my name is James Wynne. I am the director of Redeem. Co-director, that is. My partner would have been Barry Molloy, who unfortunately doesn't live near enough here to take part in this commentary. But the first thing to say is the credits were done. The opening titles were done by me. So I have a bit of a shared love for graphic design, so that was a treat to do. But here, this introducing first. I mean, I suppose this is one of our male leads. This is the wonderful Mark McCormack, who we got from Dublin. This is a little bit of a predator effect we have. But Mark McCormack, yeah, we found Mark McCormack in Dublin. He plays Simon. We found him in a college. In the same college I was in actually when we were when we were filming this. We found him there, and he was a wonder to work with. Very good young actor. We filmed this essentially in the Wicklow Mountains here in Ireland, outside Dublin, about an hour outside Dublin, up in the Wicklow Mountains. We filmed this. Um, a more predator effect there. This was actually shot a month later, in a park. A month after we shot it, that was shot in the park. Those point of view shots, and introducing our second character. This is the wonderful Nigel Brennan, who plays Richter. For anyone who, I assume if you've seen this, you're listening to this with this documentary, the commentary, you've probably heard it already. You probably watched the full movie already, and you pretty much know the story. But Richter, played by Simon, excuse me, played by Nigel. Nigel does a good dual role in this, I think. And when he turns, man, does he turn! He turns really well. He does a really good job. More point of view shots. I think we done that in Dublin. Well, I think Barry done that in Dublin actually, without me. But unfortunate, it was a out of focus shot that we couldn't do. This is more Predator stuff. I mean, the problem with we are very happy with the way this movie turned out, but at the same time, um, lovely stunts there, and that was really Mark, really hitting himself. But he kicks the monster. But yeah, we filmed this in essentially what would have been only 12 hours. We shot over the course of 2 days because it's entirely an outdoor film, and we had about 6 hours a day because of light issues and stuff. Because we were shooting outdoors, we essentially had no time to make any. Oh, and here's another. This was a side story we had written into the script about bracelets that shock, and paralyze these two guys. But we didn't really have time to do anything on the fly, if you know what I mean. Everything was we had to schedule everything very very strictly. But then when we got there, essentially just the schedule fell apart, and anyone who has a good eye will catch the fact that in those shots, both of those guys are holding an iPod Touch, but when it shows the close up, it's actually a Nokia touchscreen mobile phone, someone we had, because the point of view was shot about a month later. But this is more of our monster footage. We shot with the camera, me holding the camera, jumping on top of one of our actors, and I think we I think we boosted the contrast up to about 100 when we filmed it, or actually no, in post production. So you get that really kind of predator effect, which wasn't the intention at all. But it wasn't the intention. But when we got it, we were impressed by it. We thought it was cool, so we left it in. But the thing is, with this movie, I had become up to this one. I'd become very interested in psychological stuff. The psychology of characters and stuff. A movie had a real psychological edge, and I think that's what we went for in this. And whether we achieved or not, I guess, is entirely up to the audience's perspective of it. But no, we thought we were making something at the time that was a little bit off the cuff compared to the other films that had been made in the same situation we were in at the time. We kind of thought we had made something a lot different than the rest of them, something with a lot of thought, a lot of imagination, and something that wasn't about like homeless people and about and here's the turn. Actually, this is the big turn. Obviously, this is Nigel, ditching the Richter character and revealing himself as essentially Saint Peter. And here's the flashback scene. Which actually, when we showed this to an audience for the first time, the flashback scene tended to be everyone's favorite scene in terms of its editing and its pacing and the color. I was the main editor on this film, and I had a lot of help from Emma Brandon, who was on set with us a lot, and she's kind of a jack of all trades. If you know what I mean. She kind of comes in handy for everything for everything on set. Funny story actually about Emma, but now actually this is where everything goes wrong, where we find out what actually happened to Richter. He gets shot, boom, and pulls off the scarf. Voila, it's actually Richter. But I remember the first day the first day of filming, when we got up to the Wicklow Mountains. I think this was actually shot the second night, but the first day of filming, we realized we had forgotten our boom pole for our boom mic. So me being always the stressor that I am, I ran into I went into the forest very angry, and the guys heard a snap, and then I came back with a big thick branch off a tree, and a big off branch off a tree, and I threw it at them. I said, "Here, use that as our boomstick," and then we used that boomstick. That branch had become our boom pole for many hours of shooting. And the location we have, which was a holiday home essentially up in the Wicklow Mountains, who was owned by the dad of a very close friend of Emma Brandon's, wanted to put this film into the historical archives of the area that they could use. And here's if you're following the story, his replaying of the game until he gets it right. But he wanted to keep it preserved, as something that was filmed there, and then he did, and he had it above the fireplace. So then when the next tenants came in to attend the house, they burned it because they thought it was firewood, which was depressing and very sad. But this is actually probably one of my favorite shots in the film. Him walking off at a distance. I love handheld stuff. I don't know. I think it was Barry holding the camera, and here's St. Peter. Boom, and that's essentially Redeem of the Flask work by Nigel. And the thing is, the credits as well. That's Redeem, but the credits again are again a passion of mine. I love working graphics. Working with Nigel. Nigel and Mark were two fine young actors that we managed to find, and we were lucky to have them. And I'm sure they'll be stars one day. I know Nigel will be, but they will be stars someday. And they're two very fine individuals that I thoroughly enjoy working with. There he is, great, Nigel Brennan. But there's Mark McCormack. But when we filmed it, we were under so much stress in terms of time constraints that we kind of didn't really get everything we wanted to do. And because we did, there's brilliant Emma. And because we didn't, we felt we missed out on a lot of stuff. And a lot of backstory that we wanted to get, because essentially we filmed it in 12 hours. So and thank you to Hans Zimmer and Chris Daughtry, because we couldn't come up with our own scores. So I think we'd love to go back and film it again, hopefully. And Carol Lee, thanks Carol, and I hope all goes well with baby Tyler. So yeah, that's it, and that was Redeem, and I thoroughly hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you again very soon. Thank you, bye.